feel, wanna taste, wanna get you going. I wanna lay, wanna string, wanna make you mine. Step inside my mind, you can see the shine. Got you on my walls, believe it. Baby, don't be scared, want you everywhere. Catch you if you fall, I mean it. Closer I can you resist? It's relentless, it's why I wanna feel the rush, I wanna taste the crush, I wanna get you going. I wanna lay you down, I wanna string you up, I wanna make you mine. I wanna feel the rush, I wanna taste the crush, I wanna feel. I wanna lay you down, I wanna string you up, I wanna make you mine. I wanna feel, wanna taste, wanna get you going. I wanna string, wanna make you mine. Make you see it in my eyes, how they never lie. Just a little bite. Are you dreaming? Now I got you up, would you look at us? Fantasy alive, and I'm screaming. Closer I can you resist? It's relentless, it's why I wanna feel the rush, I wanna taste the crush, I wanna get you going. I wanna lay you down, I wanna string you up, I wanna make you mine. I wanna feel the rush, I wanna taste the crush, I wanna feel. I wanna lay you down, I wanna string you up, I wanna make you mine. I wanna feel, wanna taste, wanna get you going. I wanna string, wanna make you mine. I wanna feel, wanna taste, wanna get you going. I wanna drink, wanna make you mine. Make you mine. Get you feel, make you mine.
Good day, I'm Jean-Marie van Graan, also known as Lola Blakely, and I'm thrilled to introduce to you Lotus Love, your ultimate destination in relationship, intimacy, and wellness coaching. As a wellness, relationship, and intimacy associated counselor, I'm passionate about helping individuals and couples navigate the complexities of modern relationships. Through personalized coaching sessions, I empower my clients to embrace love, intimacy, and connections in all its forms. Whether you're exploring ethical non-monogamy, navigating post-divorce life, or preparing for the dating scene, I'm here to support you. My coaching approach is holistic, compassionate, and tailored to your unique needs and goals. Together, we'll uncover your strengths, address the challenges, and create a path towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation? Book a consultation with me today, and let Lotus Love be your guide to fulfillment in relationship and life. Your path to a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life and relationship can start with me here today.
Please don't fake it, show me what you're all about. I got wasted, learning how to let it out. I can't take it, kiss me with the lips of doubt. Please don't fake it, fake it, fake it.
Sometimes we're looking for the more, but we just don't know what the more is. And then we come to play with me. 3 words that mean play, toys, fun, games, cheekiness, with, intimacy, connection, relationships, and finally me. It starts with self, and that is something that Play With Me stands for. Play With Me is a place where you have an experience of all of those things. One complete cycle. You're welcome to pop in at our shop at the Gantry in Fourways, or find us at www.playwithme.co.za. If you're looking for that more, please get in touch.
Do you want to learn how to have exciting sex? Do you want to diversify within your own practice? Well, hello, I'm Dr. Marina Basson, founder of Dr. M Inspired Intimacies Coaching and Training. During my practice as an intimacy coach spanning over 10 years, I realized that humans are not one-dimensional. As a professional coach and trainer, I assist couples to rekindle their intimate connection with each other, as well as teach them intimacy skill sets that broaden their sexual vocabulary within their romantic relationships. However, my focus is not only on couples. I also have a passion for teaching, and that is why my syllabus was created. What makes this syllabus outstanding is that it is approved by the SAQA Registered Association for Supportive Counselors and Holistic Practitioners, the ASCHP, for registration in the designation of Intimacy Coach. My modules are based on a culmination of my various academic and esoteric studies, a PhD through Northwest University, a SUI Reiki Master and Teacher, Violet Flame Reiki Master and Certified Life Coach. Furthermore, my research continues through my collaborations with highly academic researchers in Canada and America. From the comfort of your own home, in your own time, you can practice and learn skill sets. Not only that, you could also follow the formal training and establish yourself as an intimacy coach, earning an additional income. If you are a registered mental health practitioner, the syllabus is the perfect add-on for diversification in the field of sexuality. The possibilities are endless. I live by a simple mantra: always approach life from a space of love.
You know you love my escapades. A little bit of fun ain't a crime. We could lock ourselves in and fuck for days. We could take advantage of time. No, 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 I'm not one of those good girls who buys you gifts for your birthday. I show up with sex toys in a trench coat, telling you to behave. That guy, handcuffs, swing set, and whips to make you wish you never came back. I like to have fun with this shit. I told you when you met me, boy, I'm one kinky son of a bitch. I'll strap you to the bed if you let me. I thought I told you I'm one kinky son of a bitch. Give me one night to control you, then I'll hold you like one kinky son of a bitch. I'll rip your clothes off, take a load off. After a long day, I'm one kinky son of a bitch. If you take a look in my bag, you will see you don't know how. One kinky son of a bitch. All I do is misbehave. An animal I'm too hard to tame. Got more than class, I'm different, babe. After me, your life won't be the same. You'll be falling in love. No, I'm not one of those girls you wanna take home to mama. Cause when we visit, she gon' probably catch me doing some things that I should not do around her. Me in handcuffs, swing set, and whips to make you wish you never came back. I like to have fun with this shit. I told you when you met me, boy, I'm one kinky son of a bitch. I'll strap you to the bed if you let me. I thought I told you I'm one kinky son of a bitch. Give me one night to control you, then I'll hold you like one kinky son of a bitch. I'll rip your clothes off, take a load off. After a long day, I'm one kinky son of a bitch. If you take a look in my bag, you will see you don't know how. One kinky son of a bitch. I am one kinky son of a bitch. I am one kinky son of a bitch.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent or that of the program, its presenters, hosts, directors, or other team members.
This show is intended for audiences aged 23 and older. This production and its digital copies contain content of an adult nature. If you are easily offended or are under the age of 18, this show is not intended for you. The posts, pages, and recordings within are intended for adults only and may include descriptions of scenes of sexual content, suggestive opinions, detailed discussions, and graphic topics. Listener discretion is advised.
Passionate polys and sultry swingers, it's time for Lola's Lifestyle Lectures on your favorite seduction station, Lust FM, for the lustful listeners.
Welcome back, Lustfuls. It's the 12th episode in season 2 of Lifestyle Lectures, your favorite nighttime talk, focused on ethical non-monogamy training and guidance for your multiple relationship facets. Tonight's Lifestyle Lectures will focus on polyamorous relationships, as this is the second half in Lifestyle Lectures. First half we focused on swingers, second half we're doing the polys. In tonight's solo poly episode, we're joined by Azure Inferno, but before we get to that, the 3,000 of you live listeners out there that have waited a little over 20 days for us to return after a short commercial break and a production planning break. We love the lots of you. Thank you for being loyal. Thank you for listening. And by that, let's start off by mentioning our association endorsement site, Zenites. The Zenites website has combined socials, events, parties, and workshops for all walks of life and like-minded individuals. Zenites is a quality South African community of fun, unique, uninhibited people who enjoy life to the fullest, who are into casual dating, social networking, and open relationships. Also into alternative lifestyles. With quite an extensive number of social platforms for us adults to connect on, Zenites makes finding these quality connections just so much more easy, affordable, and accessible. If you'd like to join the Zenites community, head on over to www.znite.com and explore the countless possibilities they have on offer. Then, of course, our endorsement site, Lola's favorite friends at the Council of Fantasy. The COF is a lifestyle-orientated community catering for everything and everybody from BDSM right through to lifestyle and everybody that wants to learn more about sex positivity. It's a safe, sane, and consensual community and an all-inclusive, focused lifestyle community. The only shame we shame are the people that shame. Shame on you for shaming people. One of the main focuses of the COF is education, and not just in BDSM, but in sex positivity and in lifestyle positivity. I mean, there's everything from body positivity to just learning more about how to love in your intimate relationship. If you guys would like to join us at the COF, you guys can find us at www.counciloffantasy.co.za or visit Lola's website at www.lelustfm. Yes, the lovelies, we know it's a double L. www.lelustfm.live and find the link to the WhatsApp community on the homepage right at the bottom of the page. There's a little WhatsApp icon. Click on it and come and join the WhatsApp community. Let's get chatting. Your Lola Blakely production moderators for this evening are Mr. Black Dragon. Hi there. And of course, my man, Mr. Fox. I nearly said Axel. I mean, it's been 20 days. I've been on holiday, so bear with me as I just find my feet again. And then, of course, our ever whip-cracking production manager, Miss Medusa, will be making sure everybody does their jobs this evening. Feel free to engage with them, send them questions that you'd like answered. You have to keep us safe during the airing. We know sex is sacred. And I mean, as we divulge and journey on this ethical non-monogamous relationship lesson, let's keep the space sacred and keep the questions to the point. Now the time has come to greet my absolutely gorgeous and stunning co-host for this half of Lifestyle Lectures. We all know Twosome for Fun joined Lola in the first half of Lifestyle Lectures for the swingers aspect. Now venturing into poly, I'd like to welcome back Miss KB for the last half of the seasons. My bunny boo, hello, welcome back. How are you?
Hello, Miss Lola. I'm good and you?
I mean, it's been a minute. I feel a little bit rusty. I just got to get my wits about me for a minute. It was
Miss Lola, it
exhausting.
comes naturally to you.
It sounds very akkerig on my side. How have you been, KB? Have you been behaving yourself?
I have been behaving myself or misbehaving myself, whichever way you want to put it, but I've been having A
We
load of
love a
fun and good stuff.
we love a misbehaving bunny. Also, we had a party on Saturday. Did you enjoy the party on Saturday? Not that much because you only were there for like a hot minute, and then you got whisked away.
Yes, I loved it though. The bit that I
It
got
was
to spend with you.
I know it was so much fun. We went to Chivalry on Saturday night to celebrate Lola's birthday. Yes, you all missed it. It was fun, but it's done. Also, I saw you sneaked a kiss with Azure Inferno, our guest this evening on Saturday night. Or did I misinterpret that sitting over her lap on the chair there in the corner?
I was attempting to give her a lap dance as entertainment, and the kiss did
Oh,
happen, yes.
oh shit! I missed a lot. This is the thing when you go to strip clubs, right? I mean, the lessons you're going to learn about your co-host and your guests, and I mean, everybody, it's a fun time. Without further ado, let's introduce our guest this evening. She's been a guest before. In the previous episode, we did a Dragon Dynasty with KB and her partner, Mr. Black Dragon, who's also online moderating for us this evening. Mrs. Zer Inferno, known for her fiery personality and vibrant energy, Zer's a bisexual, queer, and kinky firecracker who brings a unique perspective to various topics. With over 6 years of experience in various ethical non-monogamous relationship setups, Zer continues to navigate the complexity and dynamic world of relationships with authenticity. Just under 5 years, she has identified as solo polyamorous, embracing a life that values independence, autonomy, personal growth, and deep connections. I am excited and so very honored to welcome our guest this evening. Welcome, Azure Inferno. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Miss Lola. Hello, KB. I'm so excited to be part of the segment. It's really exciting for me.
It's lovely to have you. Also, you don't have to call me Miss Lola on air. You know this, right? Don't just call me Miss Lola because Bunny calls me Miss Lola. You never call me Miss Lola. Don't start with me, Panda.
Okay, what do I say then?
You just call me Lola. I'm
Okay,
gonna sit with a
Lola.
bunch. I'm gonna sit with a bunch of subs on the episode this evening. I've got a quick question that just came in from Karim. Karim, I hope I pronounced your name right. And welcome, newbie. This is a sexual segment about sexual relationships called polyamorous relationships. So this specific episode is about learning how to be solo poly. So if you are under 23, we would suggest you ending this listenership right now because the show's not intended for under 23-year-olds. It is a sex education and a relationship and intimacy education show. So if that's not for you, then I would suggest not listening in. But for the rest of the listeners that have tuned in specifically to learn about solo poly, I'm going to give the stage to Zern for now because I want to know what solo poly is too. I mean, we've learned a little bit about what it means to be polyamorous because we did the segment on the whole lot of you. I mean, your whole family of like, I don't know how many dragons there are, but there's a shitload, right? So we know what it is to be polyamorous, but I want to know what solo poly is. So let's kick it off and just jump straight into that. Zinfana, if you can take it from here.
So, not to make things like too complicated, obviously, because we're still starting out. And I think solar poly is a very misunderstood, I guess, form of polyamory, and it's not spoken about a lot. So basically, solar polyamory is the practice of having multiple partners or relationships while centering one's own autonomy. So that's basically the I guess the one liner of solar polyamory. It's very centered on independence, on autonomy, whereas usually um the other form, the more, I guess, common form of polyamory is where someone has a nesting partner or a primary partner. Whereas solo poly, it's very much you are your own primary. So I am my own primary. I center my needs and wants they're like centered to me. Obviously, I will respect my partners and we'll discuss boundaries and everything like that. But then at the end of the day, I'm still a autonomous human being. And yeah, I'm very much independent. I'm not looking to, get married or have kids or enmesh finances or even live together. I prefer to sort of, be solo, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So it does make sense. I just want to backtrack a minute and say you aren't looking to get married yet until Lola pops the question. Okay, we all know how Lola feels about
Only if
redheads.
Lola
So
pops the question, yes.
Miss
I just wanted to make that clear for the listeners, okay? So that
Yes.
everybody
Just
knows.
yeah, that's an exception.
it would be a separate a separate poly dynamic of Miss Lola and her wives.
Yes, yes, that's it. I mean, we all know about the harem. So to come back to Karim, Karim, your question says, can I find benefits here, or is it just a conversation? So this is an interview. Okay, this whole segment is an interview around what it is to be solo polyamorous. If you are interested in learning about what this is an educational segment. So if you are interested in learning about what polyamory is, or polyamory, and how to um navigate through a relationship facet like that, then please listen on and continue asking questions. But we're going to continue with the interview now. So if the mods can just take Karim under your wing and just answer any questions that he or she might have, and we can continue. So when I've heard Inferno, I'm just going to call you Inferno if that's okay for now, or I'll just call you Panda because that is your name. So if I understand this correctly, so or what I don't understand under what you just displayed or explained for us is the term having autonomy whilst you're in a relationship. I'm going to play devil's advocate here, okay? If you have to come from a monogamous relationship, okay, or if there's listeners out there and they are in a monogamous relationship, but they might be interested in moving into solo or moving into polyamory, but they don't know what that would mean for them. It's going to look like a foreign concept if you say you're in a relationship, but you still have autonomy to make your own decisions. So I want to get into what autonomy means inside a relationship, especially a relationship that's structured around being solo polyamorous.
So autonomy basically is sort of the freedom to make your own decisions, right? You've already said that, right? And people think when you're in a relationship, how can I say, the whole individual, like each, I don't know, in my opinion and in my experience and what I've seen is that it's about the couple, right? The couples make decisions together,
Yes,
right? And how can I say, there's usually a bit of compromising involved, even in polyamory. In polyamory, I'm just going to say, in when I say polyamory, I'm just talking about the more common form of polyamory, just so that people
as
know.
a whole.
I'm not saying as a whole. Yes, polyamory as a whole. It's very much about a couple. Like people will say, let's say for example Lola and John. They won't say, Lola as an individual. They'll sort of focus on the couple, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining it
It
correctly.
does. It does. I think it's because people know and understand relationships, and when people move into a relationship, especially if it's a committed relationship, that those individuals then become one. So you
Yes.
don't have individuality outside of being in a relationship. So that's exactly what I understand when you say what you're trying to explain now is it's because the couple become one. So there is no more individuality. Individuality falls away when you commit to a partnership. So what does that mean then for autonomy?
So I guess, yeah, so in my experience with polyamory as a whole, and even obviously monogamous relationships, I've seen that sometimes individuality, yeah, falls away. Whereas, you're doing things as a couple now, almost every single thing. Like, I have to see you every
Mm.
single weekend. I have to see you every single day. It's like my hobbies become your hobbies. That sort of thing. I just feel like like obviously there is, you still make decisions, but I feel like even with polyamory as a whole, I feel like permission based things is still a huge thing. Like if I want to do something as an individual and I'm in maybe in a polyamorous dynamic, I would still need to get permission from one or more of my partners. Whereas solo poly, you're completely autonomous. I don't ask for permission, and people get that wrong sometimes. I am in a relationship with someone, and people know that, and they'll be like, "Well, can I ask him or her permission to talk to you or to like message you?" And I'm just, no, I'm not into permission based sort of relationships. Not that I'm saying it's bad, like, we all have things that work for us, but I just prefer to have the final say in what I want to do. I sort of center as like my own autonomy, my own freedom, instead of maybe compromising what I want for a partner that I'm in, if that makes sense.
Mm. And does KB, what's
Yeah.
your thoughts on this?
So I've actually, on occasion, had having had quite a few conversations with Miss Inferno on on some of the like open-minded chat groups, where I've actually witnessed somebody asking permission for her to speak for them to speak to her partner, so that they can have an engagement with her. And I think I wound it down quite nicely when I stood up for her the one day and I said, Miss Inferno has full autonomy over her decisions. Now, those decisions being her autonomy, it's a little bit hard to explain. Her autonomy isn't necessarily her free will or freedom. It's her ability to act as an individual,
Mm.
it's a self-controlled, self-elemented individual. And so as much as she does respect her relationship with her partner, and she does check in terms of safety precautions and all of that stuff, she still has the ability to speak and enjoy certain liberties that a normal couple would not.
So, okay, what confuses me and what I wanna clarify then quickly, right, is okay. So I'm now in a committed relationship. I'm solo poly. Okay, I'm in a committed relationship, but my partner, or I get a text from a dude. Okay, and he's flirting dick sticker. Okay, he's loving the flirting with me, and he's loving just grabbing my attention. Not that I'm flirting back, but like I kind of feel like I wanna engage now and I want to flirt back. Um, I don't need to ask if I'm in a solo polyamorous relationship. I don't need to ask permission from my partner and say to look from the swingers perspective. That would be you need to you require permission from your partner saying yes, you can go ahead. I'm comfortable with you speaking to this person, or no, I'm not. Or I'm not comfortable. So then you would have that conversation with your partner. So in a zone for in your case now, you would not have that relationship with your partner because you make your own decisions. You make your own decision, and you're in charge of your own life, whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, right? Here's the thing now. What if this upsets your partner? And how do you stop this from upsetting your partner? What if your partner goes to your phone because he's looking for a number and he pops up on this message and it's just dick pics? Okay. And I mean, he didn't consent to anybody sending you this, although you're in a polyamorous relationship. He's still not, maybe he's not even aware of it. You haven't had the time. I'm not saying you didn't tell him on purpose, but maybe you just haven't had the time to tell him. Now he's falling into these messages, and like it's alarm bells maybe in his mind, but in your mind you're solo polyamorous, and this is the decisions you have made, the decision to engage with this person. How can this affect your relationship? And do you need to be in a relationship with somebody else that is also considered to be solo polyamorous to be for this relationship dynamic to work?
So the first thing that I do, I'm very upfront about who I am, and about being solo polyamorous. That my decision making is very, very clear. especially with anyone that I'm seriously considering. So that would be the first thing that I would say. You have to be upfront. You have to communicate who you are and what you're willing to put up with, your boundaries. I feel like boundaries is a big thing and should be spoken about a lot more. In polyamory, in monogamy, and obviously in solo polyamory as well. So whoever I'm seriously considering getting into a committed relationship with, they know that I'm solo polyamorous, and it's not like I'm never gonna like tell them anything, or like it's more like, I mean, for example, now I'm in a committed relationship with someone that is married, right, and has a nesting partner and has another partner, you know and I was very upfront with him. I was very upfront with him about who I was, about who my current partners were, and how that was not going to change. It was not like he was going to suddenly come into my life, and I was going to sort of drop everything and make my whole center of my life about him and about us as a couple. And I mean, he knows that people flirt with me. I mean, we make jokes about it all the time, and yeah, like, he respects me enough to know that I would, you know, tell him. And we also have an agreement. We have a relationship agreement, you know, detailing, how we handle communication, and how, if things are getting really serious with someone, I will communicate this to him, and I'll be like, look, I really want to, maybe, obviously I will always tell him if I'm going to meet up with someone, if something might happen. I will always communicate that, regardless if regardless, even though I am solo polyamorous, it's not like I think I can hide everything and it's fine, because I'm an autonomous person and I can make my own decisions. It's more, I'm not going to him and being like, hey, I'm seeing this person tomorrow, is it okay with you, sort of thing. Where a lot of couples do that, and of course that's completely valid. you know um it just, for me, it's about what I need and about what I want, obviously, taking into consideration what he needs and what his thoughts are,
And
if
his
that makes
opinions
sense.
on it.
Yes, no, definitely, and safety, safe sex, I don't want to put, I'm a part of a bigger polycule, as you know, and I never want to put anyone at risk, so it's not like I just go and fray around, which I think is what people think when they hear solo polyamorous, because they're like, well, you want your cake and you want to eat it too, sort of thing, when it's not like that, yeah. I
I
probably
mean,
spoke too much.
firstly, there's nothing wrong with having your cake and eating it. That's my policy in
Absolutely not.
life. Also, who doesn't love cake? I mean, that's the best thing in life is cake. And I'm talking about real fucking cake, just so that the listeners know out there. Everybody knows Lola loves the ladies. Anyway, moving on swiftly. I want to know, what is your veto policy, right? Or do you guys have one? Or would you consider that you feel that it's necessary to have one? And has it ever changed? Also, what do you do to prevent? Because I want to know, solo poly, you can't have hierarchy in a solo polyamorous relationship. So what like one of my concerns would be maybe moving into a relationship. Say you're in a relationship and you're solo polyamorous, your partner might not be solo polyamorous, and you get a partner that your original partner does not like at all. I mean, I know Dragon, and I know he loves everybody because he's just a lover like that. But say there's that one person that he really, really cannot for the life of him fucking stand. He hates this person's guts more than guts itself. And for some other reason, there's a connection between the two of you. Being solo poly and you're getting to make your own decisions, and he said that in the chat, you're your own boss and you act on your own best interest and you don't need permission from him. But what if that person like really just ticks the box for him, and it just happens to be somebody that you connect with? That just sounds like such a sticky situation to me. How would you get out of that?
um so So the first thing is that we don't really have a veto policy. I don't really believe in vetoing. I don't really believe in hierarchical polyamory either. But I do believe that we as human beings are always going to have someone that we have a stronger emotional connection with, whether we want to admit that or not. A lot of
Mm.
people in polyamory don't actually want to admit that, but we do. We're as human beings, we do have stronger emotional connections with others. You're never going to love one person equally. Like I would love
Mm.
to say that you would, but unfortunately, yeah, that's just not how it is. So I just want to put that out there that we don't have a veto policy. Like, I mean, there's been situations where I don't really always think that he makes the best choices in partners. And I will express that concern to him, and sometimes I will, like, get a bit agitated and a bit upset and vent to him, but I'll never put him in a situation where he has to choose unless, unless another party is like, how can I say, is becoming manipulative or jealous or insecure, where they are derailing our whole relationship and are causing really big problems in our relationship. Where I'll be like, okay, unfortunately, for my own well being, you're going to have to make a choice here. Like,
Mm.
I'm not trying to give you an ultimatum, but for my own sanity, I have to sort of step away, or something has to be done about it. So that's like in very extreme situations, you know. Um, so in regards to if I clicked with someone that he really like hated, um, I would probably, 'cause I'm not really inclined towards, like, there's kitchen table polyamory and then there's parallel polyamory. So kitchen table is like basically how it sounds. Like, you're in a polycule and you're all friends with all your metamors, or you're like really friendly, and you all hang out together now and again, which is the current polycule that I think that I'm in currently. I don't know if KB would agree, but that's, and then you get parallel polyamory, where obviously about your partners, but there's no desire to meet. There's no desire to, how can I say, meet each other or know all these significant details going on in that person's relationship. And it's not as in like a don't ask, don't tell situation where it's like you're cheating. It's just sort of saying, like, cool, I acknowledge your other partners, but I don't really have any desire to get to know them or be in the same space as them. So that's sort of, if I had a situation like that where he was like, I don't like this guy or this girl, and I just, then I would say, well, okay, let's try and navigate this the best way for everybody. Let's try and be civil, and let's just practice a more parallel form of polyamory where I do my thing and you do your thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think.
think what Miss Inferno is trying to say is we have a little bit more of a hybrid poly, where we're not exactly kitchen table, but we're also not exactly parallel. Certain parts or certain pivots of the poly dynamic is quite parallel, but there is times and occasion where we would all basically be in the same room together having a fat chat or having a laugh at something, whatever it is together. So yeah, there is elements where, for example, one of the partners visits for a little bit and then they go home and the next partner arrives. So it's again, the way I see it, and what Miss Inferno is trying to say, I think that's what she's trying to say, is you build your relationship the way, and your dynamics the way it suits you and your needs.
That makes sense to me. And I'm kind of like, I like how independent it is. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to be for everybody. I'm
No,
very positively certain it's definitely not for me. That's just not something that I can relate to, because I kind of like having somebody to fall back on, and to know that I'm not alone anymore. I've got my partner, and that's I'm not one anymore. I'm now plural, so that kind of works for me. But this is gonna work for a lot of people, because a lot of people, especially with like the whole feminist movement, um, just having that individuality inside your relationship and inside your own, knowing what works for you, knowing yourself. And I mean, this is a form of relationship dynamic that you need to know yourself so damn well. And here's why it's important to talk about these things, right? It's because half of society, more than half of society, don't know themselves. They've never known themselves, and they possibly, very likely, will never know themselves because they haven't taken the time to sit and think, what works for me? What are my likes? What are my dislikes? What are my concerns for myself, for my future? And how am I going to get there on a positive, like how am I going to make the journey towards my future, a positive experience? So I love the fact that you've taken charge of your relationship and of your choices and your life, and how you choose to live it. I love that it's empowering, it's sexy, it's a hell of a fantasy. Whether it's going to be for all of our listeners, I don't know. If it's for you, we love to know in the comments. Let us know. Let's find out what questions you guys have on being solo poly. What are your thoughts about what we're talking about this evening? Let's get to chatting. We need to go to a slight commercial break. But when we come back, more on tonight's episode entitled Solo Poly versus Inferno. The red-headed, gorgeous panda bear is joining us this evening. We're having a hell of a conversation. I mean, it's intense. And I need to go and get a drink on a Wednesday night, okay? Because, like, my brain's bleeding. And while we're waiting for my brain bleed to end, let's grab something refreshing, get comfortable. We've still got half an episode left, but more on this evening's episode of Solo Poly after we've listened to a couple of my favorite songs. Here we go.
When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone, don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey. Come
Do you want to learn how to have exciting sex? Do you want to diversify within your own practice? Well, hello, I'm Dr. Marina Basson, founder of Dr. M Inspired Intimacies Coaching and Training. During my practice as an intimacy coach spanning over 10 years, I realized that humans are not one-dimensional. As a professional coach and trainer, I assist couples to rekindle their intimate connection with each other, as well as teach them intimacy skill sets that broaden their sexual vocabulary within their romantic relationships. However, my focus is not only on couples. I also have a passion for teaching, and that is why my syllabus was created. What makes this syllabus outstanding is that it is approved by the SAQA Registered Association for Supportive Counselors and Holistic Practitioners, the ASCHP, for registration in the designation of Intimacy Coach. My modules are based on a culmination of my various academic and esoteric studies, a PhD through Northwest University, a SUI Reiki Master and Teacher, Violet Flame Reiki Master and Certified Life Coach. Furthermore, my research continues through my collaborations with highly academic researchers in Canada and America. From the comfort of your own home, in your own time, you can practice and learn skill sets. Not only that, you could also follow the formal training and establish yourself as an intimacy coach, earning an additional income. If you are a registered mental health practitioner, the syllabus is the perfect add-on for diversification in the field of sexuality. The possibilities are endless. I live by a simple mantra: always approach life from a space of love.
Sometimes we're looking for the more, but we just don't know what the more is. And then we come to play with me. 3 words, like me: play, toys, fun, games, cheekiness, with, intimacy, connection, relationships, and finally me. It starts with self, and that is something that Play With Me stands for. Play With Me is a place where you have an experience of all of those things. One complete cycle. You're welcome to pop in at our shop at the Gantry in Fourways, or find us at www.playwithme.co.za. If you're looking for that more, please get in touch.
We can fight our desires. But when we start making fires, we get ever so hot. Whether we like it or not,
Good day. I'm Jean-Marie van Graan, also known as Lola Blakely, and I'm thrilled to introduce to you Lotus Love, your ultimate destination in relationship, intimacy, and wellness coaching. As a wellness, relationship, and intimacy associated counselor, I'm passionate about helping individuals and couples navigate the complexities of modern relationships. Through personalized coaching sessions, I empower my clients to embrace love, intimacy, and connections in all its forms. Whether you're exploring ethical non-monogamy, navigating post-divorce life, or preparing for the dating scene, I'm here to support you. My coaching approach is holistic, compassionate, and tailored to your unique needs and goals. Together, we'll uncover your strengths, address the challenges, and create a path towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation? Book a consultation with me today, and let Lotus Love be your guide to fulfillment in relationship and life. Your path to a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life and relationship can start with me here today. Welcome back, lustful listeners. I mean, you guys have just showed up in the fucking masses this evening. Yes, my voice is slightly skewed. I mean, we had a party this weekend. What do you want from me? It is what it is. I sound like a crow. Get over it. I got a couple of messages while we were on commercial break. Thank you, guys. Goodness gracious, my phone's blowing up. Thank you, guys, for your interest in tonight's episode and tonight's topic. It's really so empowering to see how many people just take charge of their sexuality, take charge of their wants, their needs, their desires, their love and their passion. I mean, like Danae around quite likes to say, baby, pleasure is your birthright, and that means pleasure in your relationship as well. It's not only about sex. Yes. This evening's episode is called Solo Poly. I mean, straight down to the point, it is what it is, right? We are discussing what it means to be solo polyamorous. Up until I met this evening's guest, I had no idea that a term like this even existed. And as for whether I understand it, no, I still don't. So I'm learning with the listeners this evening. It's fun. It's exciting. It's different. It's fresh. It's funky. It's new. So let's learn a little bit more. So I want to get before I drop my phone, there it goes. Hold on, let me just grab it quickly. Oh my goodness. It's the nails. The nails make me drop everything. So I got a couple of questions, like I mentioned, whilst we were on commercial break. One of the listeners want to know, okay, hold on, let me go to the top first. What led, this was an interesting question, what led Miss Zernfurno to choose solo polyamory over other relationship forms? So Panda, what led you to make your decision to be solo polyamorous? What enticed you about this relationship dynamic?
Wow, that's a really good question, actually. It actually makes me think. She makes me think a lot. So I think for me as a person, as my personality, as I'm sure you know, spending time with me, I'm a very, I'm very straightforward, person. I like to march to the beat of my own drum. If that's the way to talk about it, if that's the way to explain it. I'm very free spirited. I'm very much I can't be tamed sort of personality. Um and I've just always wanted to like explore sexuality, explore life, explore my limits, and I've never wanted, how can I say, I've never wanted like chains on me, you know, because I feel like that would, it would just take away a huge part of who I am, and also experiences that I've had in the past with relationships before embarking on this polyamorous journey and the solo polyamorous journey is I always seem to get involved with people that wanted to control me, or wanted to do every single thing together, or didn't value or respect my alone time, and I just, yeah, and then when I came across the term solar poly, it was like, wow, I was like, that's just me, to a T. And I finally found a place where I fit in, within the ethical non-monogamy space.
I love that. And like, it's funny, right? Somebody that's so independent, you just kind of want to wifey her up immediately. So I don't know if you know, but there's a position opened up, right? Miss Medusa went and broke my heart, and she broke it off with me. She's no longer my wifey. I know I've cried the longest crocodile tears over this, but I mean, there's a position open. Panda, I'm just saying, there's a position open. I need to fill another redhead there. Apply below.
Miss
KB,
Lola, you're
you've
gonna have a redhead, a blonde, and a brunette at some
oh
point.
gosh, I mean, life made right there. Life made.
Yes. So,
KB,
Miss,
there we go. Sorry, we
yeah,
lost you there for a second.
apologies, Miss Inferno. You said earlier that your humans are naturally emotionally attracted to one person or another person more than another. Um, in your experiences, um, with your partners, I'm going to say partners because yeah, you're solo poly. You're gonna have many loves. Um, the person that you are like most emotionally attracted to, shall I say, if you're their big attraction, what stops you from like almost like saying let's elope, let's go and just be us? Even though I know you're quite independent and you need your alone time, the partner I'm thinking of also needs his alone time. So it's almost like the two of you kind of suit each other in that regard. Also, given his other partners, what stops you from just like eloping?
So I'm gonna make a joke. Are we talking about the same person here? Because I don't know, he can't seem to get enough of me. This other person can't seem to get enough of me, so I'm not sure about that. But um, I'm just teasing.
Yeah, you see, you just
Yeah,
fell out of my league because I don't like sharing.
Maybe
So
I just experience his the alone time a little bit differently.
that's a good question because there are times, especially when, as you know, when we're dealing with polyamory, polyamory struggles and stuff. Sometimes I just want to grab my partners and be like, let's just go. I don't want to deal with this. But that's when I have to sort of rein myself in and be like, well, I'm not their only partner. I can't. That's one of the times I can't really think of myself only. You know, um, I have to sort of, yeah, I have to, even though it sucks sometimes, I have to sort of give them the space to sometimes get hurt and sometimes to make the wrong decisions, and to also grow up a little bit, and learn things the hard way and make mistakes, because we're all perpetually learning, we're all growing, we're all exploring. That was probably a deep answer for your question.
It's a very deep answer, but it does answer my question. You're basically saying you do compromise to accommodate your partner's needs as well.
Yes, yes, yes,
They're important enough to you to be accommodating to a degree of their needs and wants.
yes, definitely.
So backing up on that, um, obviously poly is not easy. We can say that from plenty of experience. It's not easy, but when it's flowing, it flows really well. Um, how do you experience your interactions with your partners, other partners, and do you treat them as solo poly people as well? Because you're solo poly, you give them the space to make their own decisions, kind of thing, or don't you?
Um, so obviously, obviously, like my partner, right? He has a nesting partner. So they obviously, I respect that, he has a family and, he's married, and I respect that. I don't just waltz in and I'm like, well, you know, I'm solo poly, so, I must get whatever I want, and you must sort of, neglect your other your other partners, or the way that you do polyamory with them, if that makes sense. you know I really try and be respectful as I can be, as long as I'm getting the same respect back. I all think that, we should have the right to make our own decisions, even if we're in a couple, even when we're a part of a couple, you know um so I'm not really sure if that answers the question either.
Yes, it does
I
answer
think,
the question.
yeah, I think for me that answers. I think that makes perfect sense. Um, sorry, KB, to interject, but I just got a bunch of new messages from listeners. People are really interested in this. This is really, really great. Um, So one of the ladies that's listening in wants to know emotional well-being. Okay, how, because apparently it's difficult to take care of yourself when you're in a solo polyamorous relationship, because I mean it's you yourself, you make your own. So surely if you make your own decisions, you're gonna face your own repercussions and face your own consequences. So I mean it's a lot of baggage that you're taking on by yourself. So this lady wants to know, how do you take care of your emotional well-being whilst being solo polyamorous, and also what support systems you have in place for these emotional challenges.
So that's a very good question as well. Wow, I really can't believe the reception that we're getting from this episode.
It's
It's
really
yeah, it's
good,
been
yeah. I'm really,
amazing. It's
really
crazy.
flattered.
Yeah. As I've explained, a little bit, self-care is very important for me. Time alone is very important to me. Like last week, I think it was last week or the week after, I actually didn't see my partner at all. I made the decision to sort of, let me, just, spend some time at home, doing my own thing, watching my favorite series, having a nice bath. You know, that's sort of a way that I also, unwind, and sort of, because it can be a lot, it can be a lot.
Mm,
Um, so I feel like that's very important to me. Time alone for me is really it really makes such a difference to me. And it really sort of sometimes regulates my emotions, especially because, you get tired, like you get, I value my personal space, and if I'm in someone's personal space and they're in mine for like extended periods of time and things are just really hectic, I can become very agitated and I become very annoyed, as I'm sure, other people, even people that are not solo poly would understand, you know. So like I sort of need that break, which is also one of the reasons why I don't think I could live with someone,
mm,
currently, because if I had to live with someone, if I had to live with someone, there would have to be like an extra bedroom where like it was just my space, where we would just have space, my own space. you know.
Yeah.
Um,
I,
sorry, I forgot what the second part of your question was. My
So
support system.
yeah,
Oh,
the
my
support
support
system.
system. Yes. So my Lola is a very big support system for me, actually. Um,
Thank you, thank you,
she's
thank you, thank you, thank you.
she's always there. You're always there for me, always. And you've become you don't take sides. You stay very neutral. You tell me when I'm wrong. And you
Being
give me
full of
such
shit.
great advice when I'm full of shit. Yeah, exactly. you know but you also tell me, like, hey, your feelings matter. You
Yes.
do, you do have a right to be upset about this, because the thing I want to bring up is, like, in terms of emotional well-being, a lot of people look at me and they're like, wow, you have like 5 or 6 years experience, you handled this so well. And while that's true, I still have those times where I get very insecure, I get very jealous, and I also struggle to regulate my emotions in that sense, you know. And sometimes I guess, people, yeah, I guess people should just remember that, and even people, I mean, people that are new to polyamory, they look at me and they're like, well, you're so good at all this stuff, and
Mm,
I'm just new. I don't know how to handle this, and it's just like, you must just remember that I'm still a human being, and I still have feelings and I still struggle with all these big emotions,
mm,
even though I have been doing this for a long time. And, I've worked a lot on myself. I have a lot of self-awareness,
mm,
but unfortunately you still have those days,
mm,
so yeah, even though in yeah, I guess I'm experienced, it's still hard, and it's not all sunshine and roses, you know.
mm, mm. I like what
mhm.
Miss Carmen Ellie says here. Some people with 40 years of experience can also struggle to regulate their own emotions, and the kind of communication, you know, that you have to be able to make this relationship successful and she's right, it's absolutely fucking phenomenal. And I mean, for the listeners out there, I don't know if you want to share your age, but I mean, it's not like you are 90 toetse tannie. Okay, you don't have years and years and years and years and years and years and years of relationship experience. So at you're like a very young, raw age to have such maturity, it really, like, it says a lot. Really, it does.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. This is ethical non-monogamy.
Mm,
Everybody is consenting to the dynamics at play here.
mm,
Um, Part of that support system, and I'll speak from my own experiences within a polycule, is your metamors.
mm,
I can tell you now that at least one or two of the metamors that I've had are quite ethical in the rights of, and they'll pull our shared partner into play and say, "Hey, listen, yeah, you've been a bit unfair to that one because you're bowing down to the needs of the other one." So yeah, your metamors also happen to keep your partners in check.
mm, mm. So, somebody else just commented and said, I'm interested in following this relationship. Um, but with your social and family, how do your friends and family view your choice to be solo polyamorous? Which is a very good question, because I can hear my mother. Okay, I can hear my mom in my background, like in my back head. I can hear, Lala, you fucking crazy. I can just hear her say, what shit are you up to this time? I can just hear my mother. For the life of me, she'll kill me. She's an ex-teacher. But what's that for you? What does your family say about it? And what does your friends say about it? What does your work like look like, your work life look like, being solo polyamorous and having multiple, relationship that you need to juggle? How did they take the news? I don't love
Um,
one, I love
so
many.
so I wouldn't say that literally every single person in my life knows. because unfortunately we do live in a very stigmatizing world.
Mm.
And they're very much like, oh, you're just like having sex with everyone and it's like a big orgy. And, a lot of people still have that conception,
Mm.
In regards to my friends, the thing is, I don't have a lot of vanilla friends. I really don't have a lot of vanilla friends. So it was pretty natural when I came out. They don't understand it. I mean, a lot, how can I say that? It's not that I don't understand it, but the thing I get the most is, wow, I could never like share my partner with someone else. Like I would get so
Mm.
jealous. That's
Mm.
that's the thing that I hear the most. Um, you know, um, in regards to my family, so I was very close with my mom. She's unfortunately not here anymore, but I was very close with my mom, and I literally told her everything. Um, I literally told her everything, even things that I knew that she didn't necessarily approve of. You know, she would sit there and she would be like, "Oh my goodness, are you sure this is what you want?" And the thing that she
Mm.
would say to me often is like, "You have to try everything. Hey, you're one of those. Every time you come to me and it's something new." You know. Um, and she said, as long as you're happy and as long as, the relationships that you're in, you're happy and these people are respecting you and
Mm.
you know what you're getting into, and I raised you to be sensible, and yeah, she was my dad. Unfortunately, he doesn't know. I don't know how he would take it, but he's very much he's very much like
Old school.
monogamy and old school. Yeah,
I
old
know
school.
your
Yeah.
dad and my mom are like
Yeah.
the same person.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So work life, I think I've mentioned it to a few colleagues. And they've just been so interested. They were just like, wow, which is
Mm.
quite interesting. They were like, wow, how does that work? Don't
Mm.
you get jealous? Like, don't you get insecure? And I'm like, yeah, we do, but there's so much love as well, and you learn so
Mm.
much. It's personal growth, and I don't know if I'll be solo poly forever. I can't say
Mm.
that. I don't know what the future holds, but
Until you marry
but
Lola.
yeah, yeah, yes, exactly.
That's it. So this
So,
evening's episode. Sorry, KB. Okay, before I end, let's go to KB quickly.
Miss Lola, we have a question. What the health are getting test sexual? Um, Facts. What I can tell you is, polyamorous circles, shall I say, get tested quite regularly. Firstly, secondly, every single partner or metamor coming into the the circle of life here is actually communicated about, and generally they get tested before anything happens, so that everybody is fully informed and consenting to playing or
Mm.
doing or having any sexual interactions with one another. Because I can tell you now that if if one partner has sex with somebody outside of that circle and they're not safe, and they go and have
Mm.
sex with somebody inside the circle, that will expose just about everybody in the circle.
Listen, there's going to be shit and hell to pay if people
Yes.
inside a dedicated polycule is playing outside of the borders and they're not testing regularly. So, in fact, Porcupine, to get back to your question, and we're from South Africa. I don't know where in the world you are from, but I'm taking it you are from abroad, based on your interactions. So we have the instant tests, like what is it called?
Rapid tests.
From the that's at the rapid test. So we use rapid tests in South Africa. There's also multiple testing stations set up in and around South Africa, and we do advocate for healthy relationships and a healthy sexuality, and experiencing or exploring your journey as wild and as crazy and as fucking taboo to society as it may be. We advocate for you to live your best life, but live it health, like safety wise, very healthy. So most people inside the polycule will get tested. Zunfino, with your specific relationship type of being solo poly and getting to play with whoever you want to, whenever you want to, however you want to, and not having to answer to anybody. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but I don't think in fact Porcupine was listening then. So if you can maybe just repeat what your specific views are when it comes to being sexual healthy.
So currently I'm in a long-term relationship. And before we became, how can I say, committed, like where we said, okay, you know what, like we want to be committed. It's not just a fling or a casual dating. We used barriers beforehand, which is condoms, which we used condoms. Um, and then we decided, okay, we would like to, not use condoms. So we want to get tested, before we do that, obviously, for the safety of ourselves and the safety of everyone in our polycule, you know. And I personally used the rapid tests because unfortunately it's really expensive to get tested, like at Lancet. It's like over 2 grand or something. And like, unfortunately, that's really expensive for a lot of people. So I got the rapid test from FAMCA, which I think you've mentioned on your other podcasts.
Yeah, we've actually interviewed
Um,
them before.
yes, and so that's what we did. And we also have in our agreement and like within our polycule is that we won't go barrier free, so condom free, or whatever someone chooses to use as a barrier. Um, Before getting tested and discussing it with the whole polycule and seeing if this person is safe. So if I go out and I meet someone and it's casual, I guess I would be 100% safe and use, obviously condoms are not 100% safe, but
Mm,
they are the safest thing you can use, especially for STIs and stuff.
mm,
um, so yeah, um, and within my own risk profile, I don't use like dental dams and stuff for like oral sex and stuff. Just within my own risk profile.
mm,
And my partner is aware of that. And there's trust there. There's the whole polycule is aware of that. So yeah, that's personally what I what I do personally, and I think what our polycule does as a whole. Yeah.
mm. Look, it always concerns me, and it will always be a concern. Whether it's polyamory, whether it's swinging, whether it's you like having relationships behind your partner's back and you cheating. Okay, it doesn't matter. Look, we all know that condoms are never going to be 100% safe, guys. If you think this is real life, it's not. Okay, it's not going to be 100% safe. Here's the thing, right? Even these rapid tests, even if you go to the damn lab, it's not, there's an incubation period, guys. Guys, let's not forget about incubation periods. So you gotta know what you're letting yourself into, what you are opening yourself up for. And if that's your choice, that's your choice. That's great for you. I love that for you. But be cognitive of the choices that we make in our
That's
lives
why
and
we
make sure that it's
always
that
say
it's pardon?
that's why we always say consent is key, communication
Consent.
is
Yes.
number two, and go get tested regularly. Regularly as
Yes.
minimum every 6 months.
Yes. Absolutely perfect. It's really vital. And to anybody out there having sexual relations and intercourse, or any sexual interactions with anybody um, that is not their regular partner, or with multiple partners, guys, it's so important. We live in a life where the sex positivity and being open to more sexual, like you've got more access to sexual information and education. We've got podcasts now that teach us about having fun sex, kinky sex, rough sex, long sex, short sex, like every kind of sex that you can learn about now. And society is becoming more sex positive. Just because it's a more sex positive society does not mean it's a free for all fuck, right? Get tested, stay healthy, and stay ahead of the curve. Don't be stupid. Let's not fuck around and find out on this one. It's really important. And on that note, it is time to end this evening's episode and this evening's segment on solo poly. Um, Miss Inferno, from my side and the productions, the production side, I just really want to thank you for sharing so much and just being so open and honest and absolutely raw with your answers this evening and within this interview. It's really been such an honor to have you on the show, and
Oh, thank
your
you.
contribution's been invaluable.
Thank you. That's really, thank you for asking me to be on here. Yeah, and I just want to say, if anyone, wants to explore solo poly or has any more questions, they can reach out to me. Yeah, or they'll probably reach out to you asking if they can reach out to me. Is that okay?
Yeah, well, they're gonna have a problem if they reach out to you directly because I am still your
Yeah.
protector. So the fuck if
Well,
you
yeah,
get
I
in
mean through
line.
you. Yeah, I mean through you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean through you. If anyone, yeah.
Also, you kind of run my FetLife profile, so they can contact me on FetLife and get to you. That's gonna be easiest. Yes, Miss Carmen Ellie, wifey, you can have permission to
She
contact
has permission already. Oh my goodness. Please. Miss
us.
Carmenelli has permission already. Please.
So facts porcupine's actually poaching my guest this evening. Facts porcupine would like to interview the Inferno as well. So I think that is one of the most that's the best compliment any guest on my episodes has
Oh
ever given.
wow.
So that's
Yeah,
absolutely
that's
amazing.
wow. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing that. Wow, he has his own podcast. That's really cool. Or they or she. Okay, wow, cool.
Yes. So what we'll do is, if somebody can just please post the Lila's socials, and then Fax Porcupine, you can get into contact with us, and we'll put you into contact with Zern Inferno. Zern Inferno, maybe just grab that email that he's just shared there. Him or she or
Why
he or
don't I
they.
let me just also just put my email, my Inferno email. Is that okay?
That's a great idea. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Watch
And then
her
Miss KB.
in her solo poly by telling you Miss Carmen Eli has permission already.
Yes, actually, just put me on my place there. Sit down and shut the fuck up. And she's not even my wife yet. I mean, look at this going skew and squiff, and we all know Lola's very jealous. So let's not. Anyway, with that, we need to end this evening's episode. KB, I look forward to next week's episode. We don't know what we're going to do yet. We'll keep it a surprise for ourselves as well. Yes.
I have ideas.
You do? Great, because I've got fuck all. I'm still recovering from this weekend. And on that note, thank you, loyal, lustful listeners, to all 3,000. And the last time I checked, it was like 3,011. So to the lots of you, thank you for joining this evening. Thank you for listening. It was an absolute blast having you guys here with us this evening again. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, we love the lot of you.
When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone, don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey. Come on. When you're all alone in a lonely room and there's nothing but the smell of her perfume, don't you feel like I'm crying? Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like I'm crying? Come on, cry. Cry to me.
want to learn how to have exciting sex? Do you want to diversify within your own practice? Well, hello, I'm Dr. Marina Basson, founder of Dr. M Inspired Intimacies Coaching and Training. During my practice as an intimacy coach spanning over 10 years, I realized that humans are not one-dimensional. As a professional coach and trainer, I assist couples to rekindle their intimate connection with each other, as well as teach them intimacy skill sets that broaden their sexual vocabulary within their romantic relationships. However, my focus is not only on couples. I also have a passion for teaching, and that is why my syllabus was created. What makes this syllabus outstanding is that it is approved by the SAQA Registered Association for Supportive Counselors and Holistic Practitioners, the ASCHP, for registration in the designation of Intimacy Coach. My modules are based on a culmination of my various academic and esoteric studies, a PhD through Northwest University, a SUI Reiki Master and Teacher, Violet Flame Reiki Master and Certified Life Coach. Furthermore, my research continues through my collaborations with highly academic researchers in Canada and America. From the comfort of your own home, in your own time, you can practice and learn skill sets. Not only that, you could also follow the formal training and establish yourself as an intimacy coach, earning an additional income. If you are a registered mental health practitioner, the syllabus is the perfect add-on for diversification in the field of sexuality. The possibilities are endless. I live by a simple mantra: always approach life from a space of love.
Sometimes we're looking for the more, but we just don't know what the more is. And then we come to play with me. 3 words. Like me. Play. Toys. Fun. Games. Cheekiness. With. Intimacy. Connection. Relationships. And finally me. It starts with self, and that is something that Play With Me stands for. Play With Me is a place where you have an experience of all of those things. One complete cycle. You're welcome to pop in at our shop at the Gantry in Fourways, or find us at www.playwithme.co.za. If you're looking for that more, please get in touch.
We can fight our desires. But when we start making fires, we can